Now, you might have in your team, if you're an entrepreneur or business owner, or if you are a team leader, people that's been high performance, but suddenly they just block. Suddenly they just stop high performance. Of Imparables. My name is Jose Miguel Taramona. I'm director of Ludus Mastery, and today in this episode we're going to talk about something that a lot of people has been asking for. Is about high performance and how can we get our team to high performance, how can I get ourselves to high performance. So if you're an entrepreneur, a salesman, you lead a team, I think this episode is gonna be for you. So check it out. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe, to put thumbs up if you like information, share. This episode is completely original content, but it's dedicated for you. If you just immigrated, you just start a business, if you are in sales, this podcast might be for you. And let's start. High performance is a great topic, and in a lot of information you can find online. So we discovered this, it was a big topic. Not only did the questions that we always ask from our clients, but most likely from everybody out there that want to raise their team to the next level. So what is high performance, and why do we want high performance, right? And I believe one of the reasons why it's beneficial to have a high performance team, or you be a high performer, is to get to drive to the point of mastery. To get to the point in which you can do everything so good and you feel so well, and every time you start hitting your targets, your goals, every time you are doing it better. So that's what we want, high performance. That's what we want our team to high perform. To get to the point to be the best of its self, to the best of everybody's self. So how do we get that? Well, in order to get to this, as much as we know in business or in sales or in entrepreneurship, is to understand the basics of high performance. And what are the elements that drive or that takes you to high performance? I want to talk about, from all that is actually a big subject, but everything that actually is involved in this, we're going to talk about 4 key elements. And the first key element that I want to talk about your psychology and about your story. Most likely about the story of your psychology. What's the story about what you're doing and what are the blocks that you have mentally, right? One of the things that I realized in high performance, being athletes, military people, being maybe any kind of high performance, is the ability that they have of structure and discipline. Like if your story doesn't get you to actually consistency, to discipline, or in the structure, it's really hard that you can actually keep going when you don't want to go. So one of the key elements of high performer is the fact that structure and discipline is completely linked to each other, right? Because they have something to fall down. You have a structure, you have something to fall down when things are not going well or when you don't want to keep going. And then you have, through your discipline, you have the ability to keep pushing. So remember, one of the first elements of high performance, it has to have your psychology and what is the story between the structure and the discipline that you have, and how can you move that story, that awareness, to be able to get to that point in which you have a really strong structure and very consistent discipline. Another one, number 2 element in the high performance, is the ability that people have to control their emotions. Right? When you see a high performer athlete, or a high performing businessman, or a high performer dancer, or a high performance team, they have the ability to control and to drive those emotions in which it doesn't bring people down. It doesn't bring your own self down, but by the contrary, it actually push you forward. The ability that you have to control the emotions in the time of conflict will actually result in a better outcome than when you are in chaos. And we all know that when we are in chaos and when we are in high emotion, right? We don't say the right things. We don't feel the right things, or the things probably that serve us, right? We don't say the what we want to say in order to actually resolve the problem, but maybe our ego comes in place and start talking for us. So be aware, and what emotional state are you? Are you too high positive? Are you too high negative? Or are you in neutral? The best way to make a decision to be in conflict is completely being neutral. Don't take things personal. Right? Keep going. High performance business owners. You're a high performance entrepreneur, business owner. You're a high performance salesman. In that situation, you gotta be not the coldest one, not the warmest one, but the real neutral safety place for the person that is in front of you, or for the task or the project that you wanna actually accomplish. Number 3, this is one very, very important. High performance have the ability to push and to stay in pain. Because in order to actually grow to mastery, you have to grow. You need skills, knowledge, and experience. And all of that brings pain. Minimum, there is no grow, is no grow, no gain, no pain, right? You remember the saying? But it is so true. In any aspect of your life, uncomfortability, being uncomfortable, right? Being in an uncomfortable place is going to require you to actually grow, to actually be a high performer. So if you want to be a high performer, you have to understand that pain is part of you. And I always compare that with athletes. Athletes are amazing in this. They understand that after the pain, it's actually a reward. So don't be away from the pain. High performers don't run away. When they are in a high stress situation, what they do, you know what? They actually call them to perform in the highest level. So when you are in a high stress situation, when you are confused, when you are frustrated, just change the perception. Change the story about what frustration means. Change your story about what stress means. Because if you are in pain, you're uncomfortable, probably you're about to grow. Probably you're about to learn something. Probably you're about to actually have the key or unlock something in you. So that's what a high performance has, the ability to pursue pain. Many people call it grit, other people call it resilience, right? Navy SEALs have spent a lot of time and a lot of money, right? The government of the United States, trying to understand how from the program, just 95% people actually fail and 5% stay and complete the program. And one of the things that I have discovered is the ability to actually stay with pain, go through pain, and overcome pain. That's called grit, that's called resilience. So it's a great key element to every business owner. So be aware, be conscious of this in your team, right? Who is having the ability to actually be uncomfortable and don't go away, right? When you see somebody that actually is in always run their way and is not able to be flexible about it because they have discomfort. If you are the first to judge them, you are not going to help them. If you are the first to judge them or to call them or to put a finger on them, you are the first that is not being in that service. So remember, being the place in which understanding pain is part of the process, is not the destination. And number 4, one of the most important part is execution. I understand that knowledge is one of the most important things. However, knowledge without execution doesn't work. Right? Once I hear this that was saying a dream without a plan is only a wish, right? Or a goal without a plan is only a wish. So you have to put in practice execution, the ability that you have to execute. High performers execute even when they don't want it. Go to train even when they don't want it. Go to the meeting even when they don't want it. Go to the cell even when they don't want it. So the ability and that discipline that we're talking in the beginning, the ability that you have to execute, to keep executing, not only living in the plan, not only living in the stuff. So always, high performers always want to execute. Always have the mindset, the attitude to always execute. Right? And if it happens, you plan and you see all the errors, actually it's going to have an outcome that's going to serve you. But if it doesn't, you just learn from it. Right? Look for the opportunities in the execution, because when you execute, not everything is going to happen like you want. Right? In order actually to win, you got to learn also to lose, right? Because the opportunities is like that. In order to grow, you have to understand that the failures actually is part of your growth. So in execution, you got to be really aware the execution doesn't mean complete something, but it also means learn, right? From when things doesn't go like you want, and also to actually understand why things went right? So execute is the that you can do in a high performance environment. Take your team to actually be executors. Take your team not only to live in plans. You see somebody that actually is not executing, sitting in the back, take him back in the front and make him execute, because maybe that's what they need to go to the next level. Now, you might have in your team, if you're an entrepreneur, a business owner, or if you are a team leader, people that is really high performance, but suddenly they just block. Suddenly they just stop high performance. And the reason is what happens. And for you, it's actually, most likely, it's a block that they have in themselves, right? You see high athlete, right? Or MMA fighters, when they are really great and then they lose a fight. Or a great team, soccer team, that lose the game and they're doing great. Right? And then everybody say, oh, it's about concentration. But what about concentration? It's about the block that these high-performance athletes has. And then these high-performance individuals can have. If you have high performance in your team, if you are a high performance, sometimes you just feel blocked and stuck. What I recommend is to understand inside you, you're not using all the parts of yourself. You're using just one part of yourself. Right? Many times we use to actually push our warrior that we have inside. Right? But we don't use other parts, our servant, our king, our queen, our magician that we have inside, the one that can resolve all the problems. So once you can unlock what really is happening, you can actually go back to high performance. So one of the things that I see in many business owners, that the problem in which high performance stops or is blocked is not because of what they're doing, it's because how they feel inside, how the meaning that they have towards it. If you want to change the high performance, or you want to change the style, you gotta change the state. You want to change the state, you want to change the emotion. And the emotion is changed by motion, by doing things, by executing. Right? You change the emotion, you change the meaning, you change the behavior. You change the behavior, you change the results. Right? So look in those things in your team. If you having this high performance, have the serious conversation. Right? In the company that in my business, we have a policy: leave your shit here. Don't take it home, right? Or backwards, don't take your shit at home and don't bring it here. No, we want people, because one thing that I discovered, and what happens for us is when something is not high performance, it's because it's something that is bothering them. So in all my meetings, we have something that is called, is anything else that you want to say? Is anything that you feel, right? I feel that, or I have to say this. And it's and everybody just holds space. It's a great, sometimes group therapy, but the most important, it's actually a place in which people can unleash that love that they have. So, and with this performance, just be aware of the emotion that you bring. Be aware of the emotion that everybody, the attitude that you have, right? In Ludus Mastery, with all our clients or with all our members, we work in areas of performance. We actually help them to unlock, and most likely it's just a screw. You just have somebody to look at from the outside. I have seen a lot to actually be able to do it. So if you are an entrepreneur, you are a sales professional, or you lead a team. If you are Indian American just like me to start a business, and you need this high performance, how to acquire high performance people, how to acquire or how to bring some high performance talent. These key elements might help you, how we help our members of our community in Ludus Mastery. So thank you very, very, very much for watching. I hope this high performance podcast have actually served you. Leave your comments below. If you have any questions, please contact us. Check us out in our social media, that we're here to serve, and see you in the next episode of Imparables.